Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Anita Rose and today we are going to talk about the MacBook and the process of ordering one of these MacBooks that will best fit your family's needs. Well, let's just talk about the Apple process, period. I wanted the iMac because it has a nice screen, it's like pretty, you know, all the things. Plus, not only that, I love the aesthetic of it, but it's an Apple product, and I love Apple products. Since I had the very first Apple phone, I think I still have that one. So I'm like an Apple fan. But guys, when it came to trying to decide on whether I wanted a MacBook or iMac, it was very difficult. And as you see, I settled on the MacBook. When I was trying to look up how to order the iMac, I looked on YouTube, I Googled it, just trying to find out what's the best one, which specs are the best specs to get. And it's very confusing because most of the people that are doing the channels, even though they have like so much information until it's not even helpful for you, for the regular customer. Moving forward to now, I'm like, I have to get one because my MacBook Pro that I have is starting to just like black out. And one of the reasons why it's saying that it's about to black out is because eventually it's going to shut down. It's the Intel. So, but my Intel is still doing updates. So I'm thinking I'll just scrap everything that's on that one and give it to my son or somebody, because when I looked it up, they said they only want to give me $50 for the Intel. So I may as well just keep it, let somebody else use it, and go that way with it. But so I'm like, okay, I have to get this because I'm in school, and not having a computer is not an excuse on why you don't have your schoolwork. Moving forward to the purchasing process. Looking for the iMac, they had 8 gig. It's like 8 CPU, 8 GPU, and 256 memory or what. I don't know what that is. It's 256 space or whatever. And then they have one that's 810 and 256, 810, 512, and then they have 8, and then you can upgrade. And it's really just not explaining a whole lot of what you can do with it. My Intel, my husband went and picked it up, which when he went and picked it up, he really didn't know much about the know to look for like how many gigs, this. He just went and he was like, you needed this, so he just went out and got it. Intel one was the basic one. It was 8, and 256. Apple is selling the basic iMac, the basic MacBook Pro, and probably the MacBook Pro Mac with the 8 256, which means after looking at all the videos, it says that they are using up 5 of the 8 CPU, the 8 gigs of the CPU. By the time you start out, you only have 3 CPUs left, or unified, however it is. Guys, that is so disappointing to find out, because that starts out at $15.99. That starts out at $15.99. If you're not a YouTuber or you're not doing content creating and recording and editing videos, it doesn't matter. You need more. You do need more than the 8, because especially like for a child, like you have, say you have a middle school child, that child is their computer usage is going to evolve into more and more things. that they have to do at school. They may decide that they want to become a content creator and want to edit, learn to edit videos and do all those things. They may decide that they want to become a photographer. They want to do different things. So you do not want to get the base one, whether it's the MacBook Pro or the iMac. You don't want to do that. They have a middle one, and it's like they do it on purpose. It's like, well, we'll give them this, and then we'll take out this one so they can add, and we'll just charge them $200 more to add this or to add that. I just don't think that's good. That's not good for families. That's not good for the consumer. Just for the sake of saying you're selling so many of these products, when first of all, Apple is like recycling all of the things that they're using in the first place. So why not make a product that is family friendly? I heard a lot of people saying, well, if you're just checking emails and you're just doing this, you don't need all of that. And I get that. Like my grandmother, no, she would just need the 8 and the 256 because she's just checking email. Now she has a Facebook, so she's probably checking her Facebook. Hold on, y'all, I gotta pull this up some. Yeah, that's better. Whew. But for a child, that child is going to grow and learn and exceed those small little gigabytes. And I feel like Apple should at least explain to the consumer what each computer is for and what would it be best used for, and give us like the best specs for what we need, and list the scenario how it would best benefit the consumer, instead of just putting up all these different things and saying, oh, we have all these different ones, and just guess which one is going to be best for you. It's not right, y'all. It's not right. And yes, I still bought a MacBook Pro, and it took about 2-3 weeks, but that's because I had help. I was looking at YouTube, and then my husband, he started looking even more, and we ended up going with Best Buy. I wanted to purchase from Apple, and he said he couldn't. He said he felt like he looked at the one that we have now. He said he didn't see the option to purchase what we got here, but it was at Best Buy. So we went to Best Buy and we purchased this MacBook Pro. As you see, it's still sealed, but it has 18 gigabytes of unified memory, and it has 512 gigabytes of SSD. Oh, and it's 14 core, 11 core CPU, and 14 core GPU. And this is the 14.2 inch screen MacBook Pro. Now, y'all, I didn't see these specs when I went on Apple, and maybe I didn't see it, or maybe it was just so many of those little blue circle things in it, those like square, are they rectangle boxes, that it's just too overwhelming, Apple. Just to be honest, it's just too overwhelming to try to figure out which one of these MacBook Pros are going to be best. You have all the people that you sponsor, but they are so confusing. But nobody is really saying, hey, get this one. This is definitely the one. Because you had some people saying, well, the 512 is enough for editing. Well, you could get the 2 terabytes, or you could get the 1 terabyte. Or if you get the 512, you're going to have to end up getting external storage anyway. So you may as well go with the 512. And that's what we ended up going with, because we did see a circulation of people saying 512, 512, 512. That's why we went with 512. Because I do want to download Final Cut Pro. It's something I had already purchased previous, because now Apple has the option where you can, for $299, you can add Final Cut Pro to your MacBook Pro, your iMac, or whatever other Mac you have. You can add that to it. But yeah, it was so difficult. And I hate that it may sound like I'm rambling. I don't really know what I'm talking about. It's because I really don't know what I just experienced with buying my MacBook Pro. I don't even know. It was not a good experience. It was a frustrating experience. And it's not one that I would wish on anybody. I just know that I do like the Apple brand. I do like what they bring to the table. That's why I looked. Excuse me, I watched video after video after video. But this is so bad, Apple. You gotta come up with something better. I know you thought that it was all organized. We'll just put some boxes here and just let people choose. But it definitely needs to be something that can help people to make the right purchase for their families, because it's just confusing. We want to get the most money. I paid $2,100 for this. It came up to $21 something for this MacBook Pro. I wanted an iMac, but it was like, what was the problem with the iMac? It was just confusing on the end part, because it was like the people said add 16 gigs and then add something else, and then I was like, do I want to invest in that? And I just decided not to invest in it, because I'll just invest in the MacBook Pro, because I can come here to my desk and still do what I want to do. I can go in my living room I can go out of town, and I can still do my schoolwork and whatever other work I have to do on my MacBook Pro. And I thought, well, I could get the iMac later, but I don't think that I will purchase the iMac, because I don't feel like I'm gonna get everything that I want without spending like an arm and a leg for it. I guess that's my rant with the Apple thing. So, I will say, I wanted to order from Apple, because first of all, I wanted the Apple bag. I wanted my own Apple bag, but I couldn't get an Apple bag because I had to go to Best Buy. And when I first went to Best Buy, I'm going to show you guys this right here. When I first went to Best Buy, my box was beat up over here and over here. I mean, like someone, like it felt like this. It was beat up, and I told my husband, I was like, no, we are not accepting that, because, I hated it, but I was like, could we, please take this back? And because, first of all, Best Buy charges you to they have this thing where you have to they charge you to put the stuff back on the shelf, but they want to give a customer, like, look at this box. They gave a customer, this box was the one that I had. This was the best looking box. The one that I had was beat up on both sides, so I had to go with this option, which that's why I wish that Apple actually had the specs that I could get, that I wanted, but they didn't. So we're going to go with this one. We went with this one. The process in purchasing my MacBook Pro and browsing through and looking at the iMac, the iMac Pro, all of it, it was not the best experience. I think Apple needs to go back to the drawing board to help people find the best specs. I am not knocking the people from the YouTube. They just have so much information that to the regular person like me, it doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense. I like that they put the information out, but at the same time, I just need a regular person to come on YouTube and say, hey, if you're gonna get a MacBook Pro and you want it, and the best one to get most bang for your buck, this is the one that you should get. This one. This is the one. Not, oh, let's test the RAM and the speed of this one that was the M2 and this. And I tell you, if you're looking for a MacBook, then maybe you should try to find the M2. But, well, they're not selling the M2. So you should, and if you listen, who cares when you're looking for, who cares? When my computer is going out, I don't want to hear all of that. When my computer is going out, I don't want to hear that if I had the M2, it's no need. I mean, I guess that makes sense for the person who bought the M2, but what about the regular mom? Like, the mom who is purchasing this system for a child, for a family, for herself. What about the person, the regular smuggler person that is not computer savvy, but just needs to know what's the best one to get? That's it. Simple. The best one. So far, I don't know if this is the best one, so I'm not the person to come on here and say this is the best one to get. But I feel like after all the research that I did, all the research my husband did, all the video, oh my God, all the clicking back and forth, like, I should get money for the time I spent trying to figure out how to get this doggone MacBook Pro. Finally getting it. But the one that, this is the one, I'm gonna tell you again, the one that I got, it says 18 gigabytes unified memory, 512 gigabyte SSD, and this is the 14-inch MacBook Pro with Apple M3 chip, Pro chip, 11 core CPU, 14 core GPU, 14.2 inch diagonal, liquid retina, I don't know, XDR display with Pro Motion technology, and then they got all the pixels and this, that, and the third. This is the one that I got, and I think this is this space black? I don't even know, y'all. Yeah, I think this is the space black one, and yeah, and it's supposed to be really good with keeping fingerprints off. I guess the M2 one, like I learned all this stuff, y'all. The M2 space gray had where you could see the fingerprint smears. This one is not supposed to have, it's not really supposed to show the fingerprint smears as much as the other. It's not proof, but it's just not gonna do that. So yeah, I did learn that, and yeah, and I learned that the 512 gigabytes should be enough to edit if you are just like me. I'll just edit videos on it and whatnot and call it a day. So we will go ahead and let's get to unboxing, guys. I'll see you in just a moment.